should be all right, but you know, it is tough, isn't it, playing when the Saturday, Wednesdays, when they're intense games, and all these ones are, do you know what I mean? Rangers are going to, like, you know, you've seen how well they did in Europe, but also, like, they know how they can get these results, and it's being tough to play against, really. You know, Napoli are just an absolute pain in the arses, so even though we should win and take most points, there's still games where you've got to go pretty much, you know, close to 100% to match them for intensity to sort of win them. And so I guess that's my worry, is that, you know, what does that take out of us then for the league, where we're already, you know, lagging behind? Have we got the squad?
No, I agree. And you know, the one thing I worry about, certainly with the injuries that we've got in midfield, are quite a few of them, there don't seem to be like a time scale on them. Like, no one's saying to us that, like, Curtis Jones is back on this date, or is it's this injury, so it's only a niggle, or it's like, my worry around it is that we know Oxlade-Chamberlain's out for a while. I'm not really sure on Curtis. Keita is, like, you know, seems to be, you know, he's injured again, and there's no talk when he's going to be back. You know, it's the uncertainty around that. But in terms of the Champions League, they'll have known that. They know we're going to play 6 games in the Champions League, and they know they're going to be of a high quality. And, like, looking at that group, like, I'm quite happy with the group that we've got in terms of what we could have got. So they'll have known that we're going to have these games, game after game after game, and you're going to know that whenever he's calling out, whether he's calling out the owners or whatever message he's trying to get across in that press conference. You know, he knows that we've got a bit of a problem at the moment with the number of midfielders we've got, the calibre of midfielders we've got, and the run of games that we've got, in the context of how shite we've started.
I think on that, it's easy to look on paper, isn't it, and go, okay, we haven't, like, you start the season and you're in the summer and you go, okay, well, from this date we haven't got a free midweek because we've got Champions League, Premier League, Champions League, Premier League. But when it just says Champions League, Premier League, it's a little bit easy to go, well, we might be all right, because if one of them games is Maccabi Haifa at home, you're thinking, I mean, you can play, it's no problem. But now when you look at that and they're going, okay, we play Everton, then we've got Napoli away, then we've got whoever we've got, then we've got Ajax at home, and then we've got, do you know what I mean? You're looking at them and you start thinking,
it's Chelsea soon, isn't there? Ways to fit
so
them.
Exactly, so you start looking at it and thinking, fucking hell, it looked a lot nicer when it just said Champions League, because as you said, them teams are going to run their legs off us. Even Rangers, who are shite, are not going. It's not going to be an easy game. We're not going to. That's it. We're not going to walk all over them. We might end up beating them. They might even end up beating us, but the game will take a lot out of us. And I think hopefully it'll sort of sharpen the minds a little bit to think, well, maybe we could have got to the World Cup and then we'll have a little look at it. No, Oxlade-Chamberlain is not an option anymore. Keita is not an option anymore. So let's just get shut of them, and if we get anything out of them, they're a bonus. So start thinking, fucking hell, we might have to just go. Jordy Tielemans is available for 25 million quid. Let's just get him in, even if it is only for a 12-month thing, and sell him for the same money we bought him for. Or if they've got plans to buy someone else next summer, obviously Bellingham's the big one, but they must have other irons in the fire. Do what they've done with Diaz and say, okay, we're going to have to bring it forward now, because we're looking at this fixture list, and at the moment, we haven't got the team for it. We genuinely haven't, have we? So we're going to have to start making some tough decisions. If we don't start picking up in the league soon, that league title's getting away from you quicker than ever before, isn't it? Man City look like a juggernaut already. So hopefully this draw and the fact that the fixture list now starts looming large over you makes the owners think, fucking hell, might be right here, we need to start investing.
The thing about mentioning Bellingham for next year as well is, the problem with that is, you're talking about it in a way that, like, Liverpool nearly got the quadruple last year. Well, now it's Liverpool nearly got the quadruple, and they've got 2 points from the first 3 games. Yeah. And if they continue the way they continue, then it's going to make it really, really difficult to challenge for the league, and then it becomes difficult to get top 4. And I'm not saying it's going to become that, but then suddenly, does Liverpool look as good a prospect to Jude Bellingham as it did the previous summer when Dortmund wouldn't like?
If Real Madrid have started sniffing around or whatever. So listen, this is all a bit hyperbolic, isn't it? Because we're still Liverpool. We've had a terrible start to the season, but we've got some amazing players. Yeah. We've got Nunes, who we paid 65 million quid for, and he hasn't exactly hit the ground running, but I think we're all confident that he's going to be good. So no one is saying we need to sign players or we're not going to get into the Champions League next year. Nobody's saying that. But by the same token, how many transition seasons are we going to allow a manager as good as Jurgen Klopp to have? This season can't turn into another transition season as far as I'm concerned. And if we don't sign a midfield, I think it's very much in danger of doing it.
Man, how we got onto this again, isn't it? Like, internally it wasn't in the agenda, but everything you talk about is like, well, it kind of comes back round to this big glaring problem. And you're right, like, this has to be one of those things where we have to say, we've done things this way all the time and it works well, but we need to be flexible. We need to be more flexible. And you're right. I do think it's one of those things where we can get to October, September, and think, shit, we've already lost our 2 big objectives.
September's next week. It's fucking next week. Do you know what I mean? That's mad to say, isn't it? But let's get off this like negative midfield fucking big black hole we've got and just think how pissed we're all going to be in Glasgow. Because I am going to be fucking smashed up the fucking Reds.